E hoje é dia de acelerar, rapaziada. Vamos no Adams Motorsport Park, aqui em Riverside, Califórnia. Andando muito, todo mundo saindo de lado nas curvas, dando os slides. Agora no final já tava cansado também, até uma quedinha. Mas foi tranquilo, foi na areia. Fala, rapaziada, tô aqui. Esse aqui é o instrutor de hoje, Krino. Krino, tell us about what is SOCAL is, what we are doing here today.
Yeah, SOCAL is SOCAL Supermoto. We've been around since 2010. I'm one of the coaches here, and we teach guys how to ride supermoto. Or it's a great way just to get introduced into the track. So if you've never been on track before, this is the perfect way to learn. Much less intimidating environment, little kart track, right? And you get to learn all the basics on getting on and off and get to ride all the bikes, so it's a good time.
Okay, and here we have the dirt section and also the on-road section, right?
Yeah, so we'll have mainly all on-road, and then there's a small dirt section. I don't know if you guys can see in the back over there, but we get to do all the on-road stuff, and then we only get rid of one corner and we get to do all the dirt section. So good time. We'll teach both how to ride on the asphalt, all the techniques on that, and then also intro to dirt riding to get your feet wet and get the bike loose a little with some jumps.
Perfect. And tell us a little bit, what is your background on supermoto, or super bikes, or when you start learning?
I started almost 6 years ago, and I did a lot of the kart stuff. I didn't drive, but I worked on a lot of karts for teams. And I met Brian at the track, and he always told me to come out to ride. I worked at this track in college. And then I just started riding with him, and then I got faster and faster, and I'm an engineer, so I love the bikes, I love
how
the cars,
it works, and
all the physics, how it works,
everything.
And that's how I just kept riding every weekend and got faster, and started riding sport bikes earlier this year, worked with two-wheel track days, and I feel like I move okay, so yeah.
Yeah, he moves okay, guys. Vou mostrar pra vocês como que ele anda, ok, pra vocês verem. O cara anda muito aqui, andando, fazendo slide, fazendo tudo. We are here riding on a Suzuki DRZ 400. Could you explain a little bit overall what is this bike, and why do you in SoCal use this bike for practicing?
So most guys, if they hop on a 450, it's just too much bike for someone new to the track. It's a great beginner bike, really friendly on the throttle feel. The brakes, they're okay, they're stock brakes, but bigger rotor on the SM, the Supermoto model. And it works fine for what we need. And you could see today, we passed all the 450s and all the fast guys on a stock DRZ. So everything's stock. The only thing is we use Dunlop tires. We thank Dunlop a lot. We use their Q4 front and a Q3 plus rear. They don't make a Q4 in the size for a DRZ for the rear, but if they did, we'd run that. Great tire, warms up super quickly, lots of grip.
Are these racetrack tires or
they're
not?
DOT street legal tires, but they're really good, and they're track focused. So a lot of guys on sport bikes, and mainly a lot of B group riders on sport bike, they'll use a Q4 before they jump into a slick.
Yeah, nice. In Brazil we don't have Dunlop, we use mostly Pirelli and all that.
So I like the Pirelli slick on my 450, but for a DOT tire, it's really hard to beat the Dunlop. So Dunlop, go to Brazil.
Yeah, Vou mostrar pra vocês agora, galera, um pouco da moto aqui. Ele vai fazer alguns comentários. Então, sobre essa DRZ, Krino, o que você pode falar?
So it's a stock DRZ that we use at the school. Nothing fancy. If it comes with an exhaust, cool. On my DRZ, I like to have the JD Jet kit, right? We use the Mikuni carb, not the K-Han, just because it's more reliable. With the FCR carb, you might have to do some, they clog up a little easier. Accelerator pump has some stuff, a little more twitchy, but this is really smooth. Front end and the rear for the suspension, we just go all the way on our compression clicker. Stock suspension. On the bottom rebound, Brian and I like to go out 2 to 3 clicks, front and rear. And that's pretty much it. Tire pressure, we'll run 22 to 24 PSI on the DOT tires. Lower because we're not as heavy as a sport bike, so we want to get that contact patch and a slower track. So 22 to 24 on the DOT tires, cold pressure.